Hello, my name is Chris Toften, and welcome to a video on Is Gun Control Effective? Gun control is not only a legal issue, but a social issue as well. We're given the right to bear arms by the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Over the past 50 years, we have had some new issues arise pertaining to guns. We have increased exposure to gun violence in our society.
Gun deaths in the US have reached the highest rates in 50 years.
There are several students who have been shot.
Something has to change.
It's a pressing issue that needs careful consideration.
We need guns because, to be quite frank, it's scary living in my neighborhood.
At The Economist's Open Future Festival, gun control activists joined Idris Kaloun, The Economist's policy correspondent, on stage in Chicago to talk about what gun violence looks like in America.
So what should we do about guns in our society? Do we need more gun control? Should we promote more gun safety? Some people have never even seen a gun. Some people don't understand the need for guns in our society.
In a theory of gun control that has been around since the 1960s, the basic idea is that fewer guns equal less gun crime. But for this theory to have even a chance of working, drastic reductions in the supply of guns will be necessary. Everything else amounts to security theater. The late Senator Howard Metzenbaum, a strong gun control advocate, explained it this way: if you don't ban all guns, you might as well ban none of them. But few, if any, politicians who call for common sense gun control have the courage to propose this. Even putting aside the issue of the Second Amendment to the Constitution, which affirms the right to keep and bear arms, a gun ban has no broad popular support. Never mind the conservative states. Handgun ban referendums failed by large margins in two of our most liberal states, Massachusetts in 1976 and California in 1982. No serious attempts have been made since then.
So what is gun control? By legal definition, gun control laws aim to restrict or regulate the sale, purchase, or possession of firearms through licensing, registration, or identification requirements. Federal gun laws history create laws to prevent criminals and gangs from getting access to guns. If we take a look at the timeline of gun control legislation, influenced by gangs' violence, FDR created a National Firearms Act of 1934, hoping it would get automatic weapons like machine guns off our streets. In 1990, the federal government came up with the Drug-Free School Zone and included criminal penalties for possessing or discharging a weapon in a school zone. In 2013, in response to the mass shootings, President Obama proposed universal background checks and reinstated the assault weapons ban and limited magazines to 10-round capacity. State gun laws vary state to state and local governments. Any person convicted of a crime or a misdemeanor cannot own a gun. Any person convicted that has a felony conviction also can't own a gun. Any person addicted to narcotics also cannot own a gun. Any person held out to be dangerous to themselves or others cannot own a gun. And any person that has domestic violence issues or mental issues that's in the police records also cannot own a gun. The federal government rarely challenges the state and local gun laws. As per the Supreme Clause of the Article of the U.S. Constitution, federal law is binding on all states and local governments so long as Congress duly enacts the law pursuant to one of its limited powers. So the federal government will not interfere with gun laws unless it goes against one of their laws. How do we improve current gun laws, and where do we start? We need to fill the gaps in the gun laws, like mental illness. We also hope that our President Trump, offers to initiate red flag laws.
We must make sure that those judged
to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process. That is why I have called for red flag laws, also known as extreme risk protection orders.
So if you've never been exposed to guns, how are you supposed to know the importance of gun safety, gun control, and the purpose of guns in our society? The answer is to educate people about the purpose of guns. I think it is important to teach children about gun safety as well. I went to the NRA's website and found a video that teaches children about gun safety. Let's take a look.
Gary, throw us the ball. Gary! Can't a goose destroy zombies in peace? Hey, what's this?
Are you gonna throw it or not?
Did you leave a backpack over here?
I thought it was yours.
Mine has ice cream stains on it.
Oh, good point.
A gun!
I've never seen a real gun before.
I dare you to touch it.
Touch what? Oh my.
Gary! It's not mine. I don't know where it came from.
What should we do? Let's take it to the police.
Let's take it over to my mom. She has a gun at home. She'll know what to do.
It looks just like the ones on TV.
And in my video game.
Stop! Don't touch. Run away. Tell a grown-up. Stop. Don't touch. Run away. Tell a grown-up. What?
Why are you singing?
I learned it from my dad.
Adults and parents need to know gun safety as well, even if they do not have a gun. Let's take a look at a possible safety video to show parents and adults about gun safety.
Here at the shooting range or anywhere you handle a firearm, safety always comes first. There are 10 commandments to firearm safety, and the first 4 are the big ones. Number 1, and this is the most important, keep the muzzle or barrel pointed in a safe direction. So that means never point it at anything you don't intend to shoot. Second rule, always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. See how I'm keeping my finger up on the side of the firearm? That's how I'll hold it until I'm ready to shoot. Rule number 3, always keep your firearm unloaded until you're ready to use it. The thing you should do when handling any firearm is to check to see if it's loaded, no matter what. Always assume it's loaded. Even if someone just checked, if you pick it up, check it again. Always. With this firearm, I'll first open the slide. Now I can visibly see the chamber and confirm it's empty. And each firearm is different. As you become familiar, checking will become second nature.
Our society as a whole is responsible for ourselves and can support the improvement of gun laws and suggest to our state officials to suggest better laws as practice. So where do we start? If we take a look at the chart from the Prevention Institute, they have a spectrum of prevention that is a systematic tool that promotes a range of activities for effective prevention. It has been used nationally in prevention initiatives for violence prevention. The spectrum identifies 6 levels of intervention that helps people move beyond the perception that prevention is merely education. At each level, the most important activities related to prevention objectives are identified. As these activities are identified, they lead to interrelative actions at other levels of the spectrum. Other ways states and local governments get around banning guns is they make the application process as daunting, exhaustive, and lengthy as possible, and people either give up or do not meet the requirements necessary for obtaining a permit. The problems that are caused by this is it encourages a black market sales and illegal ownership of guns. Did we see if gun control is effective? Changing the gun control laws alone does not control gun violence. We need to change and follow the spectrum of prevention. A suggestion is vote every election for the people who support your message on gun control.